Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, good morning. Oh, yes, right. We got to go around to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Got to grab my microphone.
Yeah, peanuts, pines, and politics today, right?
Yeah, big event. I said Chris Carr's also going to be at the Jesup Train Depot at 10 o'clock, and public's invited to meet him there. Also going to be at Scriven City Hall at 11:30.
So the Attorney General is going to be in town today.
Yep, in town today, yep.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, you can move the back over. We got Jill Blizzard in here this morning from Wayne Memorial Hospital, and she's brought 3 general surgeons with her. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Well, doing real good. Good to see you.
Great to see y'all. And thank you again for having us. We love to come on here and inform our public of their local community hospital, what's happening, and who's new in town. And that's what prompts our visit today. We were talking earlier off air about how this is the world famous Butch and Bob Show, but I think we're going to have our own little record here because I've never brought 3 physicians with me at one time, and I think we're at maximum capacity today, and very excited about that. So with me today is Dr. Oscar Marino, Dr. Howard Bowers, and Dr. Sadia McCarley. 3 general surgeons at Metro Surgical on Peachtree Street here in Jesup. So Dr. Marino's been practicing here for a little bit, and the 2 more recent additions are Dr. Bowers and Dr. McCarley. So we thought we'd bring all 3 in and let y'all meet them and get to know them a little bit.
Well, good. 3 surgeons in here this morning, general surgeons here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show. And Jill, I'm going to let you introduce each one and any background information you want to say before you go into it.
Sure. Okay. So we'll start with Dr. Oscar Marino, a general surgeon. He's been here about 14 months. Right now in Richmond Hill, we were just talking about family outside in the green room. And then next to him is Dr. Sadia McCarley. She got her medical degree from Meharry Medical College out of Nashville, Tennessee. And next to her is Dr. Howard Bowers, Wright State University, the Boonshoff School of Medicine in Dayton, Ohio. And they're all 3 in the office, in the same office.
What's the name of that office?
Metro Surgical.
Metro
It's
Surgical.
right there on what we call, a lot of local people call Doctor's Row.
Yeah, Peachtree Street.
Peachtree Street, so 311 Peachtree Street. And their number is 427-3111. And I think that's kind of easy to remember because of their address. The 3111 in the number and then 311 Peachtree Street.
Okay,
So
well, sounds
I'm just
good.
going to turn it over to them and let you interview them.
All right, Dr. Marino, we'll start off with Dr. Marino. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having us.
How you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Appreciate you coming in this morning at Metro Surgical, and you've been around for 14 months. I've met you before. I know you see so many patients, it's hard to remember every single one of us. And tell us a little about your practice and what you do.
Oh, well, we have a broad spectrum of general surgery cases. We have been working here for approximately 14 months now, and now with the new additions of Dr. Howard and Dr. Saudi, so we expect the practice to grow. We will do basically everything from head to toe. We specialize in laparoscopic and robotic surgery, as well as endoscopy procedures. We're getting referrals for all the region, and we'll be happy to accept new patients.
All right, Metro Surgical is more than, of course, just here at Jesup. Where else do you practice and live?
Correct. We also in Savannah.
Okay.
Pooler area, Richmond Hill.
Okay, so you go between all. A lot of doctors do that these days. They have several places they practice at.
Correct. Dr. Saudi is currently actually active in Savannah as well. We both have privileges to go there and to do cases over there as needed, but Dr. Bowers and I were primarily here.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. Well, let's move on to our next doctor here. We got Dr. McCarley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Again, you move a little closer to the mic. There you go. And tell us a bit about you.
Well, I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I did undergrad at the illustrious Hampton University. And then I went to Meharry Medical College. I started my intern year at Morehouse School of Medicine, and then I finished as an inaugural resident at Reading Hospital in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So you've got all that. So how did you end up here with Metro Surgical here in Jesup in Southeast Georgia?
Sure. So, following residency, I was looking for a fellowship program, particularly in Georgia. I wanted to kind of go back to Atlanta. Ended up in Savannah and connecting with Dr. Odom in Metro Surgical, and then decided to stay because I liked it here.
Okay, so you live in the area and you practice at Metro Surgical, and you're a general surgeon, so you do, as Dr. Marino said, head to toe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything that when you live in the area, do you have family in the area, or is just on your own?
So I'm currently living in Pooler. My boyfriend lives with me, but I'm trying to convince the rest of my family to move to Georgia as well.
Where do they live?
So some of them are in Columbus, Ohio, and my immediate family is in Virginia still.
Okay, well, ask them about January or February, the ones in Columbus, Ohio, and they'll probably say, yeah, we want to move down there.
Right.
With the weather they have up there during the winter time. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on to the next doctor here, Dr. Howard Bowers. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thanks again for having us.
All right, tell us a little bit about you and your practice, where you're from, and your degree, and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Your time to brag, Doc.
All right. So I grew up in a small town just south of Columbus, Ohio, called Mount Sterling. It was 1,200 people. Started my journey in medicine as a nurse's aide and really enjoyed taking care of people, and ended up being a phlebotomist, EKG tech, went to EMT and paramedic school, and that's when I decided I want to be a doc. So I didn't have the money, so I joined the military, and they helped me get through undergrad and medical school, and I did my undergrad in Mount Vernon Nazarene University in Mount Vernon, Ohio, and my training, med school and residency in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay. So how did you end up here with Metro Surgical in the Savannah, Jesup area?
Sort of a roundabout way. My father-in-law is in Jacksonville. I was living in Valdosta most recently, and I get these emails all the time about new opportunities, and I happened to call Joe over at Wayne, and he said, why don't you just come up? I think you'll like Dr. Moreno. He's kind of working hard by himself, and I have a passion for small towns because that's where I grew up. And I drove over, and Oscar and I went to lunch. Our families met. We hit it off, and 3 months later, I was here.
Now you're here. So you practice at each one of the locations also?
So I'm working on getting my privileges in Savannah, but I'm mostly at Wayne Memorial right now.
Okay. All right. And so you got family? You said wife a moment ago.
Yep. Wife, 2 boys. Father-in-law's in Jacksonville. It's really good.
Okay. Another general surgeon, so you go from head to toe with surgery, right?
Absolutely. All of us try to do everything we can minimally invasive, faster recovery, less pain. And so we're all robotics trained, which is a big deal for such a small town. Having a robot in a small community hospital like this is a major advantage that a lot of places just don't have. But I think Wayne Memorial does a great job with their finances, and they've been able to bring in those newer technologies for the community, which is great.
Yeah, we keep getting Jill to try to bring in the robot so we can talk to the robot, because it seems like everybody's using that robot these days. So I wanted to see if it's getting overtime. And so you're all proficient in general surgery, and it's great that y'all been able to expand, because I know Dr. Marino's been down there for a while by himself, and now y'all can move in here, and y'all are practicing here, and so we can have more people be able to stay in town to be able to see general surgeons instead of having to go out of town.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Is that it? Bob, do you have any questions for the doctors? You want to move that around?
He mentioned the robot. Like I said, Joe asked me to ask them about the Da Vinci robot, how it benefits the patients, because I understand all 3 were certified in that. And as you mentioned, Waymore Hospital is one of the few hospitals in there that have the robot technology. So just want y'all to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The robot is, when we talk about surgery, there's old-fashioned, old-school open surgery where you get your hands in there and you can feel tissue and masses and things that you need to remove. In the 80s, they came up with minimally invasive techniques where you use plastic tubes that insufflate the abdomen so you have room to work, and it was a revolutionary technology. It has some disadvantages because you don't have 3D imaging. The instruments are straight and they only rotate minimally. With the robot, you have 3D vision. You have wristed instruments. You are able to minimize the amount of stress on the abdominal wall because the robot uses a fixed point in space to rotate about. And all of those things make it for a faster recovery, less pain for the patients, less narcotic use, and a quicker return of bowel function. All of those things ultimately result in improved outcomes.
Okay. Was that it, Bob? That's the only question.
All
Joe
right.
Roddy wanted you to talk about that. Talk about the robot. All right, let's move the mic, Dr. Marino. If you can move the mic back over to Jill there. And Jill, anything else that you'd like to add?
Yes. So a lot of people listening out there, they may not know. Okay, general surgeon. And y'all said head to toe, head to toe. Okay, so do they do brain surgery? Do they do this? Do they do gallbladders? So I'd love for them to share, if we have time.
We have time. We got to.
Okay, I'd love for
We
them
got
to just
16
kind
more
of
minutes.
share some examples of things that they do, like gallbladders.
All right, Dr. Marino.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. So, we do the most common case that we have here is a gallbladder surgery. So we do robotic cholecystectomies. We do abdominal wall hernias. Okay. We do endoscopies, colonoscopies, upper endoscopies for a great variety of conditions
Okay.
that the patient can have.
All right. All right. Let's go to Dr. McCarley.
Also, and generally we also do appendices as well, and general things that come to the hospital like small bowel obstructions, and we deal with those.
Most recently, we're going to start doing breast surgery, so helping with breast cancer patients in the community.
You know, you're talking about being a general surgeon. You've got all these different areas that y'all help people with. That's got to take a lot of training and practice to be able to be proficient in each one of those areas.
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my hat's off to you
Yeah,
to be able to go through all that training, get your degree, and go to your internship and get a practice. That's just good. That is really good to be able to do all that. But some people specialize in one certain area, but general surgeons, y'all can help people all kinds of ways.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I get that.
And this is Dr. Bowers.
I get that question a lot from family members who, you're a general surgeon, so what does that mean? It sounds pretty generic. We're trained in basically everything from head to toe, and a lot of breadth, but I would say, are experts in the abdomen, and breast cancer certainly is an additional thing, but we do all kinds of things: lumps, bumps, skin cancers, little fatty tumors, sebaceous cysts. One of the things that I enjoy doing, because we have the robot, is if you have a colon cancer, if you've had perforated diverticulitis that keeps coming back, we can take you to surgery and do a minimally invasive colon resection. And oftentimes those patients leave the hospital in 1 to 2 days, whereas they used to be in the hospital 7 to 10 days.
Wow.
That's the beauty of using the technology that we have.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I had total hip replacement last December with the Bone and Joint Institute here, and I was up after the surgery. They had me walking on a walker, and I walked out with the help of my son.
You're too young to have you had your hip replaced.
I'm 70.
You look great.
I was 69 last year, and got titanium hip, ball socket, the rod down there, the whole bit, and it's amazing how quickly the folks these days, because of technology and the skills that you doctors have these days, to be able not to have to stay over very long, or like me, none at all. Yeah, that's just great.
Another big part of our practice is abdominal wall hernia surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from umbilical hernias, big ventral incisional hernias, inguinal hernias. We'll fix most of them using laparoscopic robotic technology.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jill?
Well, and I know we heard Dr. Bowers' kind of journey into medicine and how he started out and where he ended up. I would love for Dr. McCarley and Dr. Moreno to share their journeys as well, how they decided to get into medicine, how they knew they wanted to be a doctor.
All right.
ladies
All
first.
right, let's start off with Dr. McCarley.
So, probably when I was in elementary school, probably about 5th grade, I had a dog that I had since I was 4 years old, and I decided I wanted to be her doctor. So Virginia Beach had some unique opportunities in which the high schools had different academies depending on which specialty you were thinking you were going to go into. So I used middle school to kind of research that. And the high school I went to, which is Bayside High School, which is the same high school off of Saved by the Bell. So it
Just had to put that in there, didn't you?
Yep. So that had the Health Sciences Academy. So I initially went to that school wanting to be a vet, and then after some exploration in the fields, I kind of was between veterinary medicine, OB-GYN, and general surgery. So meanwhile, also when I was 6 years old, unfortunately, I was attacked by 2 Rottweilers, and so
Ooh.
I had multiple surgeries on my face because of that. So when I was 15, I had like an infected cyst that caused me to go to the hospital, and the doctor wanted me to be referred to a plastic surgeon. And so after being referred to the plastic surgeon, I had some hair grafts to kind of make a pseudo eyebrow, and he wanted to take those out. And so he took those out. It changed my life, and I didn't have as many remarks about my scars, and I decided I wanted to be a surgeon.
Okay, so that's how you got involved. All right, Dr. Bowers? Oh, Dr. Marino, we already did Bowers. You already did yours. I was thinking going this way, but don't we went here, now back over Marino?
Yeah, I was I grew up in Venezuela and South America. My mom and dad, they were both university professors, and my dad in the pharmacy school, so med school, pharmacy school. So I basically grew up hanging out with med students and pharmacy students, and I guess that influenced my decision to go to med school.
Right.
So I did my med school down there in Venezuela. When I graduated, I came to University of Indiana because that was my place of birth. I was born in Bloomington, Indiana. My
You were
mom
born
and
in
dad,
Indiana.
yes.
Okay.
So I came back and started my internship over there. Then I went to University of Kentucky, where I finished my general surgery training,
Okay.
and did critical care fellowship at the University of Kentucky, and then went to Houston to do a laparoscopic fellowship.
Okay.
Went back to Kentucky, stayed there for 7 years, 8 years almost, serving as a trauma surgeon, trauma and general surgery. And then me and my family, we decided to look for better weather, basically. So we migrate south. We find this little place over here where we love. It's a beautiful place. Me and we have I have a son and 2 daughters. We all like it here. We're trying to bring my son. He's still in Kentucky. We're trying to bring him here now to see if he want to move here and live with us.
Okay.
But yeah, we so far that's my story. That's where it came from.
You know, it's very interesting because you got a common theme here between you three is the fact that y'all have been around or interested in the medical field for a long time, way before you even became a doctor. And years with you're growing up with it, and years with your experiences and so forth, and with yours was starting off with, you said, as a nurse, and then moved on up to something else, and then something else, and then now you're full-fledged general surgeon. And that is great. That is fantastic. And we're just glad that you're here in Jesup. We really are, that you are practicing here in Jesup and here in Pooler and Southeast Georgia here.
We appreciate it.
Okay. Jill?
And sometimes this question pops up when we bring a physician in, so we can go ahead and just address it on the air if y'all like. Do people call you direct? Do patients call you direct? Or can y'all kind of share how someone becomes one of your patients?
Okay. Yeah. Well, as I said before, we have our office number up there. Normally for new referrals, they come from primary cares, or the patient directly can contact us and make an appointment.
So they
with
can
us
contact
anytime.
you directly, because
Yes.
I was referred to y'all by Southern Family Medicine.
Yes. They can call us anytime.
Mm-hmm.
We have an office open basically every day of the week, and after hours, it's gonna go directly to us through an answering service that we
Okay.
have. But yeah, the 912-427-3111 will be the phone number to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
for-
either through referral or directly.
or directly. We also receive a lot of patients from, of course, Wayne Memorial Emergency Room. any emergency surgery that needs that they may have comes through us, as well for satellite hospitals around.
Okay. And you do your practice there. You do your surgery there at Wayne Memorial.
Yeah, that's
All
our
right.
that's our headquarters. Yep.
Okay. All right. Jill?
And I just want to stress again, all 3 surgeons are Da Vinci robot certified. That is a big deal. Like Dr. Bauer said, for a town our size, a hospital our size, to have a piece of equipment like that, there's hours and hours and hours of training put into that by the whole team for Da Vinci robot certification. And although I cannot bring the robot here, I can send you some really cool pictures after the interview.
I've seen it before. I just figure he's probably getting smarter now with AI and everything. He's probably can talk now.
Hey, maybe developing a personality. Who knows?
I know.
Who knows? But we're very fortunate to have that piece of equipment, and fortunate to have the physicians that guide it. And if there's no further questions, I was just going to thank y'all for promoting the pinking of the fountain. That's the biggest turnout that we've ever had. We ran out of chairs. I do apologize if you came, and we invite the public, and there's always a speaker or two that shares their story that's a breast cancer survivor. And I want to thank the city for partnering with us on that. That's been a longstanding tradition now for many years, and it was started by Mayor Herbshaw. He had that idea, and he called one day and said, "Hey, we're going to pink up the fountain in 4 days. Let's do an event." Okay, so it's grown every year, and I want to say we had about 75, maybe 80 folks there. Wow. But if you were there and you did not get a seat, we're probably going to order additional chairs for next year. So thank you for everyone coming out and spending their lunch hour with us. That was great.
Do those earrings pick up satellite?
They might. They might. I am wearing these in honor of breast cancer awareness. I don't know if they're big enough. Not sure.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Not sure about that.
They're pretty big.
But,
but they look good.
Thank you. We're pinking it up all month long. Our fantastic radiology team, you'll see them all month long. They've got different shirts they're wearing, pink T-shirts here and there. I noticed Bob's shirt today has a little tinge of pink, maybe a little background of hot pink. But it really is important to talk about it, and the takeaway from that is for women to listen to their bodies. Don't be embarrassed. Talk to your doctor about it, because in every one of the survivors' stories, that's what those folks did. That's what those ladies did. They advocated for their health, and they're here today to share their story, which is wonderful.
And what else is going on at Wayne Memorial Hospital, Jill?
Well, we always have additional things going on. So I brought a couple of flyers to let y'all know about it. Our fantastic group of volunteers, also called the Auxiliary, is having a fundraiser sale next month, Monday, November 18th, Tuesday, November 19th, and Wednesday, November 20th. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, there's information about that. And the press release will be out on the hospital website as well. But this is Jody's fundraiser, and this is a great South Georgia vendor. They travel to us from Valdosta, and they bring with them a little bit of everything. Their gifts and accessories, so that means cups, that may mean hair bows. They've got something for little kids. They've got something for adults. They have some nice tea towels. They have a little bit of everything. And so they will be with us Monday through Wednesday, November 18th through November 20th. So just in time for Christmas. You can kind of get a jump on your Christmas shopping. And this is one of those fundraisers that the Auxiliary does regularly, and a small portion of the proceeds goes back to them. And then once a year, they take all of the proceeds from all of their fundraising activities and donate it back to the hospital for necessary but unbudgeted equipment. So when I say that phrase, people say, what does that mean? And for example, an upgrade of wheelchairs, additional, nicer, newer wheelchairs. One year, their donation went towards replacing mattresses in the hospital beds. We all know that sometimes those cannot be too comfortable, and so they helped replace those. So it's a great opportunity to come out and shop and also help your local hospital. And then that same week, we have a blood drive. So we have a lot going on. That is with the Blood Connection, and that is on the 19th, November 19th, 11 to 4. They have a blood mobile, and it sits right outside our cafeteria parking lot. And something really unique about the Blood Connection is all the blood that is collected from that drive on that bus will return to Wayne County. They process it, they clean it, they check it, but it comes back to Wayne County. They're also very generous. They're giving away Christmas T-shirts one year, or they're doing something else. But this time, they're giving $20 in e-rewards. So they have a website where you can go on after you donate, and you are credited $20 in rewards for things like Amazon gift cards, a Visa gift card, Ulta, a sporting goods place. So of course, it's awesome to give blood, but you also get something back in addition to knowing that you helped someone. So that is all happening in the same week. Some of these things had to be rescheduled because of the hurricane, and that's why it's kind of all happening in that same week. So fundraiser sale, Monday, November 18th through Wednesday, November 20th in our front lobby. And then on the 19th, that Tuesday, blood drive, and that's out in the parking lot.
All right, Jill Blizzard, along with the surgeons here this morning, general surgeons with Metro Surgical. Did I get it right?
Correct.
Metro Surgical here on Peachtree Street in Jesup, Dr. Rowe, with Dr. Marino, Dr. Bowers, and Dr. McCarley. And pleasure meeting y'all. So, again, and both of y'all for the first time, and wish y'all the best here in Jesup, Pooler, and Southeast Georgia.
All right.
All right. Y'all take care. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bob, anything else? All right. The world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales, by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and by O.C. Welch Ford.